Hello everyone, and in today's lecture we are going to be talking about what is psychology and what are the goals of it. So the word psychology can be broken down into two Greek words. It is made up of two Greek words, that is psyche and logos. Psyche means soul and logos means study of. So basically psychology can be said that it is the study of soul or mind. But to dive deeper, we need a better definition that actually captures the essence of this discipline. So, here is a definition which does exactly that. So, psychology is defined formally as a science that studies mental processes, experiences, and behavior in different contexts. So there are different components in this definition. First of all, that psychology is a science, which means that it is based on empirical evidence, which means it is based on research and objective things. So moving on, three main components of this definition is that psychology studies mental processes, experiences, and behavior. Let's understand what are these. So mental processes are the cognitive processes that goes on in our mind. Okay, they always go on in our mind. For example, thinking, reasoning, problem solving, decision making, and many more. So these activities that happen in our mind are known as cognitive processes, cognitive activities, which are also known as mental processes. So what psychology does is that it studies the mental processes. Okay. Then comes the experience. Experience is subjective, it is unique to everyone, and hence it needs to be studied, because cognitive processes are somewhere more objective in nature. And to holistically understand a person, we need to understand that what the person has been through, what was the situation जिसकी वजह से that we are targeting a certain behavior. So what are the experiences that shaped a person? We really need to understand that. So psychology studies mental processes and experiences of people. Now, stemming from the experiences comes the behavior. Behavior is basically action or reaction of a person on a stimulus. So how do I react or act on a certain situation is my behavior. Okay, now behavior can be overt and covert. Overt behavior is basically internal. For example, thinking. It happens in our brain, we cannot really see it. Okay, the behavior that we cannot see is a overt behavior, and the behavior that we can see is external behavior, which is laughing. Okay, we can see a person laugh, that is the covert behavior of a person. Now moving on to the next component, different contexts. Now psychology is not limited to one field. For example, school. Many of you will say that there is child psychology. Yes, there is, but it is not limited to that. It studies different things. For example, family, development, sports, and many more. And uh, other than that, it studies same person in different context also. How a child, for example, I take a child over here, so how that child behaves in home, at school, or at gatherings, that is also studied by psychology. So we really see how deep this discipline is and how important it is. So let's move on and study the goals of psychology, because it is very crucial to understand that why are we studying this. After we've understood that what the thing is, why are we studying it is a very important question. So the first goal of psychology is to description. Psychology describes a certain behavior, a certain event. Okay, we study a person, for example, let's take a person Raju over here. So that Raju was lashing out at a gathering. Why was that happening? To understand the why of it, we need to understand what of it. So what was the behavior can be described by psychology. Then the next goal is to predict. Now, Raju lashed out at a certain party on X date. A week from X, there is another party Y. Y. Now, to predict what will Raju do in that party is the role of psychology. Like how is Raju going to react on Y date? Okay. So we study the situation, the environment, the mental stressors, the experiences of that person, the mental processes that are going on, the behavior of that person, and predict a certain outcome of certain behavior of that person. Okay. Then there comes explain. We explain why a thing is happening. Why is it happening? Ki Raju is lashing out in a party. What was going on in his life? What was going on in his mind? What all is hampering him? Okay, so we explain. Then we control that behavior. Okay, we controlled the undesired behavior, we promote the desired one. For example, I don't want Raju to lash out at a party, right? Nobody likes a party ruiner. So I will control that behavior of Raju and promote a lot of peace and a lot more politeness. Okay. Then what do? It is the last but the most important goal of psychology, that is to apply. Apply the field, apply the knowledge, apply what you've learned here, uh, what you know, to get a better quality of life. So those are the 5 goals of psychology. Let me write them over here. First is to describe, predict, explain, control, and apply. So these are the 5 goals of psychology. So that's it for the today's lecture. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.